And the way to save yourself is to use the dash last. But that's like the least damage output that Julian will ever output. I like this pickup. I like this pickup, even though it will lose the lane against the Harriet.
Yeah.
Up a little bit, like they've been trying to do since game number 1.
You know what's crazy? Like most heroes that have 3 skills don't have ult, but Roger, his ult works with Dragon Spear. I don't know why. He doesn't have an ult.
Because he's the M2 statue.
Topless.
Yeah, but I'd go with a different person though. Like I know someone on social media that has flexed something that I couldn't take off from my mind.
That sounds like a different guy as well.
It is. It's a different guy, and I'm looking at him right now.
Oh, man.
Right.
That's not me.
All right, so let's go into the game, and I believe we have a clean jungle for both of our laners. Nothing really happening in that scenario. Actually, I don't think any of the buffs even got stolen, so they just went their own separate paths, and I don't know if that's good for Ogwin, who seemed to be getting ganked on a little bit right now. Escalera feels like he's more confident on this Matilda.
Yeah, to be fair, Ogwin is just annoying MP King on the jungle, just holding some green camps so that he couldn't clear them as fast as he'd hoped to. Yeah. But for both sides, I think they're doing fine. Like side lanes are not getting touched. The junglers are inside their jungle still. Yeah. Hoping to get a level 5 before the first turtle spawns.
Want to be too aggressive, right? So here we go, getting started on this one. I wonder if Twis is going to try to go for the steal here. Everything looks like he wants to.
Going to have to once again. Infernal Pursuit are going to be dropped. Turtle's still going to be worked on. Kyle will be able to get the turtle. James flickering out defensively. So again, no one falling down and objective secured for Team Falcons.
Yeah, actually, MP also kind of just did a sidestep maneuver with the dash. I guess he was trying to go for the iframes Lord Steal. Didn't work out.
But that's like the sad part about Julian. Like, you either choose whether to fight or to just stay still and then look for a play. Because MP King couldn't really touch anybody on the side of Team Falcons, especially up against his Kalia. That's why I was worried.
True.
Like, it was a possible choice for Twist Minds to go with Julian during the drafting phase. But now, like, seeing it inside the game, there's a lot of problems with this Julian pickup. Because, like, he couldn't just go in and dish out damage because he's gonna get crowd control. He has to worry about his Sanguine's Claw, and then come to mid game, also has to worry about a 1-1 just getting a stack on him.
But you know what? It's also a good thing for this Julian. That's why this Julian is allowed in this pick because of the Matilda, basically supplementing an extra dash, extra emergency.
Yeah, that's right.
So this is one of the scenarios where maybe Julian's okay to go offensive, then you dash out with the guiding wind.
But if you're James, you're kind of sad though, because like the guiding wind is reserved for the
exactly
reserved for the Phobius, but now it's supposed to go to MP the King.
And I think that's why he went Flicker, because a lot of times we see Phobius run Vengeance.
Yep.
Right? Like
he knows it. He already knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna have a Phobius and Matilda bonding moment, but nah. It's
really.
Julian and Matilda.
Julian and Matilda here now in the bottom lane. James going to be dropped down quite
go.
low. Infernal Pursuit again. Dark Wave as well, trying to keep it together, and he goes down. Kill going to the hands of Kyle TZ.
Guess what?
No Flicker.
No Matilda.
No Matilda, no Flicker.
Matilda. Oh boy. And that's a problem, isn't it? That's a big problem. If you're trying to basically just use the Matilda for a dash, you need the Matilda nearby.
Yeah.
If he isn't, then you're screwed.
And Escalera is on double lane duty right now. Like, he's using the Guiding Wind to make sure that Outlane is able to
Tsunami Slam.
lane.
Going to be able to go and get MP, but whoa, Hot Jeezy will get the turtle. Team Falcons might still want to continue the fight. Oakland's going to jump in. James going to be the focus again. He does have the flicker, so he'll re-engage, forcing at Team Falcons back. So what was that, a feathered airstrike that grabbed the turtle?
Yep. They didn't hear the retribution, so Team Falcons, they're still going for the purple buff. Oh, that's stun onto MP the King.
All right. No casualties, but they are using up a lot of their resources to try to get some control here. Falcons very aggressive on the top side.
Going to try to force them back a little bit further. So again, it's Team Falcons holding on to this minor lead that they've gotten themselves. Not too much has happened, but despite the trade of objectives and the 1 kill currently in their favor.
Okay, to be fair, like right now, James gets to enjoy his time with the Matilda now that the unit's supposed to play the opposite side.
Whoa, it's a 1v1?
What?
Oh my
God!
What?
You just 1v1'd MP, and maybe that goes and shows the weak point here for Julian, especially if he doesn't have a Matilda with him.
To be fair, I kind of could imagine what happened on that skirmish. Like he tried to go for the dash, use the retribution, but Few just used ultimate, which is sort of like a cleanse.
Yeah.
And you get a movement speed buff, and then MP the King just gets outplayed.
And he didn't even have to use the flicker. Like Few still has it.
Because Sicilian is a good kiter in a 1v1 situation. Like he gets a massive movement speed burst.
Oh, this
with
is
the
so
ultimate.
tough. Look at the gap between the junglers now. MP sitting at nearly level 9, and Kyle Teasy will jump in. Not only that, but taking his buff as well. Retribution going to be used, and MP backs off. Meanwhile, rest of the team fight's going to be breaking out. Ogwin looking for a target, jumps in with the strike and the Tsunami Slam, bringing Escalera back, and that's a kill going in the hands of Kyle Teasy again.
Man, Tsunami Slam is brutal. Even the Matilda can't really keep the Twisted Mind lineup alive long enough. Even MP the King is struggling to do some damage here.
Is he still going for the Rose Gold build? That's been nerfed lately,
That's
folks.
been, for Julian's no longer a fighter, right?
Yeah, for those watching out there, Julian's assassin mage. He's no longer a fighter, so he doesn't benefit like a whole lot.
So
from
that's
the Rose
like
Gold.
a
He still
bit-
gets the the defense, but it's half now.
Yeah. So
So I'm curious as to why MP the King is still forcing the Rose Gold build. I mean, it's gonna allow him more sustain. And yeah, sure, it still has a Matilda.
he still has the effect,
But
right?
the value, though, especially now, considering that he has lesser gold than Kyle Teasy. Super Mario gets to, to dash away from the Zaman Force. But again, begs the question, the value of MP the King in this game.
They're going to force a fight, it looks like. Multiple members, Twisted Minds is up here. Glorious Pathway is going to be dropped down. And Few will now join the fight, too. So a whole lot used.
Man, Midnight's min-maxing senses got triggered there a little bit with Rose Gold. Yeah.
Dude, the gears are still turning.
The gears are still churning here for Midnight. Let's see if it's going to help him out, though. He's getting hunted by Kyle Teasy. That's no magic. He's going to make it out. No, he doesn't.
Hajeezy will get the kill instead. Kyle Teasy was trying to get away from that.
Yeah.
So it was a good pickup.
It was a good flicker from James. Caught the Suyu before he was able to use the Queller. So it got cancelled out, so he had no dash left for Kyle Teasy. Good pickup coming out from Twisted Minds. Again, the catch are still there. Their mobility with the Matilda still amazing. But you saw how easy it was for Kyle Teasy to just solo the Julian.
Yeah.
It was just unfortunate for him that Twisted Minds was on the way. Like literally on the way with the Matilda. Always on the way.
Always on the way. And you gave us a little bit of a trivia about on the way earlier, right?
Yeah. Never use on the way. It's on my way.
It's on my way.
It's on the way is used for deliveries.
But you know, in like different countries, like they use it quite differently as well. Like in the Western countries, right?
I don't know. Let's ask the guy from the West.
Let's ask the Western guy. What do you think about that?
Is that right?
I use on my way.
Okay.
There you go.
So it's correct.
So we're going to have to check our dictionaries for that. I'm going to double check my dictionary for that later, so don't worry. Anyway, we are back in 9 minutes, and I think Twisted are tired. They are tired of getting pushed around. They want to take this fight.
See if they do. Flicker going to be used. Ogwin jumping in. Already getting that Purify out from Escalera. Now Flap dropping the Glorious Pathway to disengage from the fight. Meanwhile, Team Falcons will just clear out that mid lane. Crucial battle spells used up by both sides. Some ultimates as well, so the face-off for this Lord.
James.
Okay, they jump in once again. Ogwin, Infernal Pursuit going to be popped off, but the crossbow tank coming out from Super Marco is enough to pump out some damage, taking down 2 members of Twisted Minds, giving the control to Team Falcons for the Lord.
I don't know what was going through the minds of the players of Twisted, but James engaged while the other members were trying to run away. So it gave enough time for Super Marco to stack on the Phobius, allowed to use his ultimate, the crossbow of Thang, and with the Inspire was able to take the Phobius down, and then allowed Kyle Teasy to use the Blade Surge from the upcoming members of Twisted Minds. That was not a team fight that they were synced up.
So I didn't expect them to actually fight that, and then you're like, wait, James is going in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't look like they were ready for that. Maybe a little bit of a miscomm here.
To be fair, it looked like a good engage from the Phobius.
Oh.
They just didn't have the damage.
A jump again with this Domini Slam right into the team, and James will be able to get away even though he's burning, but there it is. Team Falcons quite low themselves. A couple shots from Few with the bat impact from the back lines. A Lord will charge into the turret. Not sure if they're going to be able to clean it up, but Twisted Minds holds on to all base turrets for now.
All right, and we are going to be on a bit of a pause here. Man, I don't know how Twisted Minds are keeping up with this. Right now, the onslaught, the barrage coming in from the Falcons feel like it's almost unbearable.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we did ask for some twist, but I remember asking for a quality twist. Unfortunately, Julian did just get nerfed, especially with the rose gold build. Not directly to the hero, but
10 minutes and 40 seconds right on the timer.
Right on the timer, Team Falcons walk in towards this base. Shield in the mid lane will pop here. But again, you know, that's all they're going to get from this Lord. So they still hold on to the shield for now in the mid lane. Twisted Minds, though, man, they're falling quite behind. This hasn't been like a kill impact game. You know, you're only talking about a few for both sides.
Yep.
But that's what I'm wondering. What is it going to take for them to actually contest for the next Lord?
I don't know, a big mistake from Team Falcons, because the difference between Game 1 and Game 2 is that MP the King is on a hero right now that cannot trade. Like, yeah, Game 1, he's on a Joy, very mobile. But now, it's on a Julian. Like, if they ever want to step outside of their base, it has to be both the Mathilda and the Julian walking out. But even then, I don't think the mobility is enough from them to prevent them from Team Falcons in chasing them, because they still have the glorious pathway from Flapteasy that could potentially just be you know, used to chase the Mathilda and the Julian on side lane.
Does feel like we're seeing the effect, right? The effect of the itemization,
close,
as well as the composition itself. Earlier in Game 1, it was pretty close all throughout. Like, that's like 20 minutes of very close neck-and-neck gold. But now you're seeing a big gap here. That's just showing how well Falcons are doing here compared to Twisted.
That's some crazy stats by the Kalia. A roam setter that heals for the same amount as a Rafaela and an Estes does.
Bigger heal compared to a Matilda.
Dude, 12 minutes in, 39k.
Insane.
That's unfair.
If you keep
that's broken.
If you keep rocking the Surge of Life, aside from really good damage, heals yourself, heals your teammates.
And guess what? Revitalize amplifies the heal.
Double?
From the Surge of Life.
Does it double it?
Almost.
Almost, right?
So that's kind of broken.
That's just tons of healing.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's fun if you're playing it or if you're playing with it. But if you're against it, it's not as fun.
Not so much.
If there's
so
big dam, then there's big heal.
Big heals.
That's big heal.
Heals. Yes.
The big enemy, the big heal.
That's it.
When you said big heals, I thought your shoes? No. Healing. There you go.
Hold on. Look at this control.
No contest.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Hylos and a Kalia standing in front. What are you supposed to do? Like, you're Julian, you dash in front of one of them, you're dead.
You're stunned, you're dead.
Stun locked. Stunned by Hylos. Get your title strike. Get your Tsunami Slam.
You're not even going to get kited. You're just basically dead.
Just dead. My goodness, this Hylos Kalea combo is off the roof. And the Revitalize is just like a cream on the top, right? So what's the game plan here for Twisted, though? How do you get out of this?
I'd say hope that Falcons messes up this Lord take. I highly doubt it, because like they're very methodical with their approach. So ideally, you'd see a glorious pathway before the Lord marches in front.
Already, the Tsunami Slam going to bring James back. He flickers out. Lord finally taking out that bottom turret, and now Team Falcons looks to go get more. That wave in the mid will be pushing as they get ready to focus down the remaining base turrets of Twisted Minds. MP the King does pick up Divine Glaive. They should be able to clear the wave out pretty quickly, and that they do. So wow, is this actually a successful defense for Twisted Minds?
I'd say so. The sacrifice from James, they exhausted a flicker just to make sure that Team Falcons is not going to be able to get inside the base of Twisted Minds. Even though they did use the setup, like the glorious pathway, to rush into the base of Twisted Minds. Again, they had to deal with the Phobius first.
Well, they go again. Glorious Pathway drop down under the turret. Zaman Force coming out from outplay, trying to fire back. Ogwin does get caught out, but the Revitalize going to be enough. And James finally going down, and Super Marco pops off with the crossbow of Tang. He's in trouble, though. He's quite low. Has to disengage from the fight. So Team Falcons won't lose anybody, but it was close.
That was super close. We're finally seeing Twisted Minds fighting back to some extent, albeit under the tower, right? So that's still good.
Marco would have died if not for the Surge of Life.
He saw it, he get healed.
It would have been comeback for Twisted Minds, but he got some little bit of HP when he went down after the crossbow of Tang. So it's again a key factor to consider for Twisted Minds.
Whoa! Flap goes in with a stun, dropping the pathway again. Tsunami Slam gets the Purify out. So Team Falcons will disengage. They try and try, but these Purifies are doing a lot of work right now for Twisted Minds.
Yeah, but that's a longer cooldown compared to the Tsunami Slam
100%.
and also the Glorious Pathway. So this gives Team Falcons an opening in the Lord Pit for the next minute. Outplayed is not going to have that Purify, which means Ogwin is a big threat, especially with the Flicker nearing the off cooldown moment. So Team Falcons, they're going to be very confident in this Lord fight. They have everything, the Glorious Pathway, Revitalize from Tapped Easy, as well as the unnoticed Tessilion, who's been really quiet in this game.
Super quiet, by the way, on Few. Making good damage, but not really being shown. James up on front alongside Escalera. I think he got half with one Bat's impact.
That's
Seal used.
It's a dangerous game. Twisted Minds is trying to play.
Big half HP, and now Falcons showing that maybe they could blitz this Lord. They're actually doing some good damage. MP King's very far away, so it looks like they are conceding this Lord, at least for now.
Yeah, there's no way of contesting this against a Hylos. And with Team Falcons leading by this much, you're just going to get ran down, chased towards your base, and then potentially lose 2-3 members and end up losing the game. So it's better for Twisted to just stay inside the base, which they're currently doing so. And look at Few, just getting some stacks on a purple buff. He's been smacking that purple for quite some time now.
Jeez.
Just getting free stacks.
284.
Yeah, 284.
I mean, it's not super high, but it's respectable at 16 minutes, 17 minutes in the game. So we're going to see some pretty solid bats. In fact, we saw it put Escalera to half. Look at that.
Ogwin jumping in again. It goes in with the Tsunami Slam, fighting in the mid lane. Zaman Force from outplayed, trying to keep them cleared out. And they'll do just that. The top turret is gone. Mid still standing, but they walk in with a Lord. Team Falcons looks to possibly end it. They're still trying to work it, still trying to find this own angle. The wave in mid is still a bit of ways. So Team Falcons still looking to cap out this game. A 10,000 gold lead. Can they get the last turn of the game? Ogwin, again with the conceal. They're going to clear out the waves. It's going to be worked on. A quarter of the health on the turret, but it's still going to be up. Twisted Minds defends again.
Yeah, I like the patience from Hajizi not using the Feather Airstrike, because if he uses it, Marco's going to go in. Like, there's no stopping the 1-1 from just, demolishing Twisted Minds.
It feels like they're trying to bait it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Hajizi holding the Feather Airstrike prevents Super Marco from just dashing in, but now he doesn't have it.
Oh, Glorious Pathway again, drop down. They want this turret. They've waited. Team Falcons will finally get it. Patience is the name of the game. And they back off. So the base fully exposed now for Twisted Minds.
Clean and surgical. Exactly how Falcons really are approaching this matchup, it feels like. And Super Marco, we're barely seeing, I feel like we're barely scratching the surface of what he can actually do in the team fights. Yeah. I think we only saw 1 or 2 crossbow tanks in this whole game. Yeah,
to be fair though, as much as Team Falcons are on a pedestal right now, Twisted Minds, they do have the damage to compete with Team Falcons. They just have to worry about the Sicilian and the 1-1. If either of them goes down, I think that severely halts the arsenal here, or the firepower from Team Falcons. There's a lot of damage gonna go missing.
Radiant armors across the board. Look at that, like you mentioned. Yep. As well as the Phoenix Shield here for Super Marco. So
MP King is basically a utility Julian at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a walking crowd control and sustain for Twisted Minds.
That big shield from the Queen's Wings.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, it still deals like a lot of damage, but he cannot one-shot like Few or Super Marco. So it's gonna change the playstyle of the Julian very, very much. But at this point, Twisted Minds they're in a state of the game right now where they just have to find a good pickoff, either in Few or Super Marco. If they manage to do that, I think they win the team fight.
He might go back here.
No, Marco's behind. Marco's behind.
For this.
Okay, they didn't run that way.
Yeah, wrong way.
They didn't run the way they wanted, so.
All right.
Purple's going to be taken, though. Lord is up, too.
Ooh, and of course it's going to go to Few, so it just adds to the impact that this Sicilian is going to make. No pun intended for that one. See if they're going to be able to get some room, get some space here. James and MP taking on the bottom side of the map.
Should be a fairly easy lure for Falcons to take, because they could just turn against Suicide Mines, especially with the Glorious Pathway.
Yeah,
trying to do it.
That pathway would just force them off of there. Circling Eagle.
Oh no! Oh no! No guiding wind! No guiding wind! They have to get out! They have to get out!
They're going to be forced off to this, so under half health on the Lord.
Whoa!
James jumps in with the Dark Wave. Glorious Pathway already dropped, though. Feathered Airstrike comes down, too, and they're going to be firing back. Few on the back line, dropping the Bats Impact, forcing Twisted Minds back. A lot of the firepower already got an MP in trouble.
Oh!
He gets tossed into the air. Immortality popped, and Kyle Teasy jumps in, finds two. Outplayed's going to be gone, and Kyle looking for the next. They're on the run. It's too much to handle as Twisted Minds falls apart at the 20-minute mark, and that's it. As Team of Falcons will go in and secure the series 2-0.
2-0 Falcons.